Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is me, Alex, with you again, and the title of this video might be confusing, but this is exactly how I would sum up the feelings I'll try to explain here. Obviously, it is just my very subjective opinion, but I say it as a player that grew with this franchise, and it is how I ended up feeling about this game. Just think about it. We all feel a certain way because we care when we care. But damn, was it good to get back into this cool universe and fight through another epic God of War story. Let me start by stating the obvious. The quality of the writing is still superb. Those people know how to make an amazing game that makes you feel all epic and heroic. Cause holy hell, were there some unexpected turns. When I was just starting to feel like I'm entering a repetitive routine, they'd throw something crazy at me. It's just that every leg of the journey seemed like a disjointed story about one place and then the other, and all this would only somewhat connect to the main character's journey. Many stages even felt like they were not initiated by Kratos and Atreus, but by random people from all over the place that suddenly decided to appear and do something. As a result, you also have a bunch of characters introduced where almost all of them never get enough screen time to open up enough or justify their motivations. That also makes certain changes in the characters' moods seem too rushed. But perhaps my most favorite part about the cutscenes here is how low and quiet some of them get. Those moments when a person knows not what tomorrow brings and just sits there, staring into a wall or a window. In a weird way, this tells more about how the character feels than them saying anything at all. And a few, just a few but still, cutscenes of the father and son variety hit so good, they even overshadow a lot of the stuff from the previous game. Kratos and Atreus' relationship evolved, in some ways better than most character connections I've ever seen in gaming, period. One scene even made me cry. A bit. I mean, it doesn't really take a lot to make me cry, I am quite a crybaby, but still. So now, where was I underwhelmed? The 2018 God of War was more of a linear story-focused adventure game. And wait for it, I am going to say it, but I don't want to sound like that kind of guy. In Ragnarök, they ended up creating almost as if an open-world God of War RPG kind of thing, with only elements of the story-focused nature of the previous one. Don't get me wrong, it is awesome, and for some, maybe even for me, it may be a superior gameplay experience to the previous God of War. This game has some absolutely jaw-dropping scenes and sections, and it is every bit as satisfying to play and mainly fight as it was in the previous game. So I don't want to discourage you in any way, shape or form, but man, you will feel that the RPG part is not as good or diverse as in actual RPGs. The open world quote-unquote part is not there either, because there is absolutely a million diverse things to do here, but by the time you visited the third and fourth realm, you will begin to see a pattern and still feel like you're in a box rather than a world which can be explored only in a certain order anyway. And the fact that they went less on the linear story focus only omits something that was the bread and butter of the previous one. An advice, by the way, don't get stuck on exploration and collectibles for too long, of which there is double the quantity and quality this time around for sure. Because you risk losing the pace of the story and put off the game for a while because it'll feel somehow boring. Keep the story missions going, don't deviate for more than a couple hours. Also, another thing, somehow, graphically it was a bit underwhelming to my surprise. Despite the obvious love and care that went into the design and execution of everything, it was especially shocking after things like the New Horizon that came out this same year, and which is also a cross-generational game. But this is a minor thing. I do have one more personal quarrel with this game. Not affected by discussions or my own contemplating, it just came naturally at the end, because it was what I cared about the most. This game is obviously about fate. Can you change it or are you destined to walk it no matter what kind of scenario. And while some might argue otherwise, I personally didn't really notice the exact turning point. So was fate rewritten, or was it not really? Did things really perhaps end the way they were supposed to, and in a way that was exactly what was written and supposed to happen? Cause there was no big cinematic pinnacle moment, things just kind of kept happening, and in that you never see the specific moment when unwanted outcomes are changed or something. The whole scary prophecy thing from the end of the previous game just gets kind of forgotten by the end. In total, the game was grand and epic, and the story was on a scale much grander than the previous one. And by the end of the credits you are all emotional and stuff, just like you would expect from such master crafters like Santa Monica. I make this video not to discourage you from playing this awesome game, but to calm some of the hyped expectations people might have. For every aspect that they introduce, there will be some inconvenience to offset it. Go in clear-headed, and you will certainly enjoy this awesome game. And the end itself also is hinting at maybe further spin-offs or something. Even if they didn't plan it to be a trilogy, they most certainly did not close all doors into this franchise for themselves just yet. For my in-depth written review of the game, visit my blog and don't forget to drop by on social media too. The links are all in the description.